Kansas State hosting second-ranked Oklahoma Sooners. The Wildcats after last season's Big 12 championship game. Legal flashback, Jason White. That game picked off by Ted Sims, 35-7. A two-touchdown underdog. Kansas State wins. Sugar Bowl defeat followed for the Sooners. Third quarter, OU up 3. White. Oh, it's deja vu all over again. Only it's Brandon Archer, 27 yards, top play nominee. Kansas State up by 4. White's only pick, but he did throw 4 touchdowns. Mark Clayton here. Moves and grooves, 15 yards. He had 5 catches, 52, 24, 21, and then White again. White threw 2 scores to Clayton, 2 to Travis Wilson. Adrian Peterson, 36 carries, 130 yards, and Oklahoma wins 31-21.
Oklahoma and Kansas State. Oklahoma sitting right behind SC in the polls. Bob Stoops and his Sooners lost in the Big 12 title game to the Wildcats last year. Darren Sproles, this is his 40th career touchdown, tying a K-State record with L. Roberson. Sproles didn't have much of a day. Jason White, on the other hand, did.
Look at the mobility this year of Jason White, able to roll out, move out of the pocket, hit Travis Wilson there for the touchdown, 17 yards.
Again in the pocket. Look at this, just zinging the ball right across to Wilson again for the score. The game's tied at 14.
And in a 17-14 game, Oklahoma threatened to take control until Brandon Archer played that one beautifully. Pick 6. Snyder's team on top, 21-17, but White answered like a Heisman winner.
And he gets right involved. This is Mark Clayton. Watch the move right there. He's been dinged up the entire season, but he finished the game healthy. That's what I love about Oklahoma. Players play hurt for Bob Stoops.
31-21 the final. Adrian Peterson, 130 yards. All but 26 of those coming in the second half, just as Mark May said they would wear down that defense. Sproles held the 34, which is significant because that's about 200 fewer yards than Sproles picked up against the Sooners in the Big 12 championship game a year ago. So they remain unbeaten. Nebraska, after having 70 dropped on their noggins by Texas Tech, they bounced back against Baylor, 59-27. Joe Daly, the first Nebraska quarterback ever to throw for 300 yards in a game. 14 touchdowns this year, the most since Tommy Frazier had 17 back in 1995. Let's talk a little bit about Oklahoma. The Sooners able to follow up that win over Texas, going into a very difficult environment against a team that was a little desperate, and they took care of business.
Remember what happened to Oklahoma last year in those last 2 losses? I mean, what do good coaches do? They assess the film, they find out what they need to do, and then make the adjustments. Well, first of all, they went out and found Adrian Peterson. That certainly helped. But I think you look at this offense now, at the start of the season for Oklahoma, it was all about establishing the run with Adrian Peterson. I think there were people out there saying, what's wrong with Jason White? 115 yards, 130. You're seeing the results of Adrian Peterson now because safeties have got to get up to help slow down Adrian Peterson. Now Jason White, all of a sudden, hey, the Heisman Trophy winner's back, 256 yards. And then in the fourth quarter, as Mark mentioned, then you go back to the freshman when the defense is tired and you wear him down. He still gets 130 yards. This offense very complete right now for Oklahoma.
I want to talk
time now to try to deal with the board here. We're going to look at this and see. I want you guys to tell me how the polls should look, not how you think it will look. First, who's number 1?
I feel fine. Southern Cal stay number 1 after their performance today.
But you guys had Oklahoma last week. You're okay there. What, is Auburn 3?
I feel strongly that Auburn needs to be 3.
Yep.
Okay. Auburn's 3, Miami is 4. Now, what are you going to do with Purdue and Virginia? Totally out of the top 10?
Drop way down. Florida State's number 4.
We'll put them there. Florida State's
5.
Florida State is 5.
Goes to number 5.
Okay, what are you going to do? I want to know what you're going to do with Wisconsin.
I'm going to put Wisconsin at 6.
Behind Florida State with the loss?
Yes.
Okay, and you're going to move Georgia up a slot?
Georgia moves up. Cal moves up.
Cal moves up. What are you going to do with Utah? And by the way, have I mentioned you guys are really wearing nice ties?
Thank you. But I'm not behind the desk. I leave Utah right there.
Okay, well, who goes in front of them?
A nice performance by Utah today.
Okay, what are you going to do in front of them?
I think I'll move Texas up here.
Okay, you got Texas in front of Utah sitting there. You're going to get Texas A&M in this top 25 this week, too, after the way they perform. Okay, this is the way that we believe the top 10 should look when it comes out on Sunday. This is how our BCS guru, Brad Edwards, believes that the very first BCS standings will look on Monday. Now, 2/3 of this formula now depends on the poll rankings. SC Oklahoma 1-2. Brad believes that Miami will have a slight lead on Auburn, with Florida State being sitting in there at number